supreme once again on land.
It feels like there is so much history between these two teams. And with all of that said, they've only played twice, but both of those times in winter and spring have gone to Game 7s. Let's see if this is any different.
Spacestation Gaming has not won a 7th game on land. And certainly not many have done so against Moist on or offline. Joyo drop one down, forced through by Vatira, and Reddles under fire early as SSG has to work in the first 15 seconds.
And here comes Arsenal breaking out of his own half, and watch for these bumps and demos coming out from Spacestation Gaming. First place in all of North America in demos per game, but that doesn't matter if you're playing defense, but they get away with one there as that shot goes off the crossbar.
SSG let off the hook there with an early salvo for Moist. Opportunity for Daniel, goes off the crossbar. Reddles sky one up for Arsenal, who is about as close to 100% as you could expect, as now Rise against Reddles, and it's SSG, the better of the two on this occasion. Arsenal, who was so brilliant in their round 5 series with the Pioneers, equated by many as his flu game. This will bounce around, and Vatira waiting. There's the bump, and Vatira still manages to send this away. SSG not diving in, not getting too aggressive. They understand how quickly Moist can counter.
And Daniel repaying the favor for SSG. They're getting a demo, and here comes Daniel, has a little space. Open net, and the prodigal son for Spacestation Gaming scores first.
Daniel breaks the deadlock he had with Reddles, his 25th goal to take the team lead in this World Championship. Arsenal credited with an assist because that's just a contractual obligation at this point. And now he may be setting up for another with Reddles across the way. Joyo's gonna bring it right to him. This could fall towards Daniel. He turns around. As Rise gonna try and march in. That got around Joyo. And the demolition on Vatira. This time they took him out, and he still got back.
Vatira spawning in the right place at the right time. Gets the save at the most opportune moment, but they're not out of the woods just yet. Moist Esports desperately need a clear downfield. As Vatira gets that big boost, the ball finally in the orange half, shot on target, and pushed to the side.
Out laterally for Vatira, the European MVP. At any point, even in the winter split, where they were runner-up to G2, you could have made the case that maybe Rise could have been MVP.
Oh boy.
They could have a whole lot of accolades coming into this World Championship, but the one that matters most will be determined over the weekend as Joyo ties up this game right at the halfway mark. Moist bring it right back to SSG.
Joyo comes out of nowhere to be found in the peripheral of Spacestation Gaming, flat-footed in the box, and Moist Esports tie us up at halftime.
Arsenal mano-a-mano with Rise on the ensuing kickoff as Reddles brings one in. They got one demo. Joyo off the field. He spawns in ball side. It does not disrupt anything. Moist able to recover so quickly. One of the better teams, even having to play a man down, even just for a few seconds. You just cannot shake the Moist defense.
I mean, it's just so easy for both teams when you have mechanical prowess on all 6 players. Everyone able to pull out all of the tricks in Rocket League. Is Joyo coming in to keep that pressure on Reddles, and a double commit for Spacestation Gaming. Let's see if that pass can find its mark up off the crossbar, off the back wall, but turned away and sent all the way back down to the blue half.
The journey for SSG, it seemed like a foregone conclusion after the first couple of rounds of Swiss that they would be in this spot, in the group stage, through to the main event. And then all of a sudden, the trials and tribulations began. They just could not get past Europe. And Europe almost a thorn in their side again. The shot just a little high and wide.
He doesn't have boost.
No, he does not, as Arsenal's gonna take this one. Of course, also not aided by the fact that Arsenal had been sick through the later stages of Swiss, as Daniel has to bring one across. And Again, Moist just swarming the orange half of the field, and Joyo gives Moist the lead.
They were just chipping away at the resources, and Spacestation Gaming had no boost left on the entire squad, and Joyo slots that one in, close post and in to take the lead.
Joyo's journey to reach this point, a spectator in the stands at the Copper Box Arena for the 5th World Championship. And then that incredible moment on stage alongside you, Subi, at the end, wearing gold around his neck. Just an inspirational story, this entire run for the former Team Queso, now Moist Esports. And almost about to be up a game here over SSG to start their World Championship campaign.
And right now, Moist Esports just loitering in the orange half, refusing to push out, even if they're boostless, as the bump almost comes through. Don't need it. Joyo gets a hat trick in game number 1, and Moist Esports looking hot right out of the gates.
Not just the hat trick for Joyo, but the playmaker for Vatira as well, going right across Daniel's face. 3-1 the lead now for Moist, with only 28 on the clock. Opportunity though for Arsenal. Looking for another assist. None coming as Daniel's got to retreat. And Vatira is trying to dance around SSG and burn more time off the clock and secure game 1. So tough to play against maybe one of the better front runners in this whole tournament. Moist are going to systematically dismantle SSG in game 1 and take the upper hand in their World Championship run.
And the crowd wants another goal. Spacestation lets it hit the ground. And Moist Esports, your winner in game number 1. But Stacks, took them a little while to warm up, almost an entire half. But once they got rolling, it was just a train running downhill.
It really was. And Spacestation valiantly tried to stand in front of it and just got mowed over. 14 shots to 5.
Oh my goodness.
As Moist Esports just rains on SSG's parade. And now we go to game 2. And if those numbers don't change dramatically, this could be a long series for SSG. It could be a short series for everybody else.
Well, given Moist Esports history, I say buckle in. I mean, they almost go to game 5 or game 7 in 50% of the series that they play. Definitely not a team that you want to take there, but it would not surprise me one bit, given the history between both of these clubs, if we do see game 7 here today.
Moist Esports has to be the odds-on favorite to lift the trophy at the end of all of this. They are the team that is, I think more than anybody, could be accurately described as hotter than the sun. Runner-up at the Winter Major, dominant in the spring. They raise the trophy at the end in London, and they come in here as the #1 seed. Nobody goes in liking their chances against Moist, except maybe Reddles. We talked to him after they qualified in the Swiss rounds, and we kind of asked him, all right, I mean, did you want Moist this early? He's like, yeah, doesn't matter.
I mean,
we want him.
Reddles is just a competitor through and through. Every ounce of him loves competition at its core, and if you give him a chance to get something back from an opponent that took something from him, he will take that every single time.
Careful what you wish for. In Reddles' case, he's gotten it. And right now, the results not too promising for SSG. Vatira throwing up to the backboard. Nobody to follow up, but he did get a demolition. That buys them time as that shot just barely deflected up into the heavens by Arsenal. And Daniel in front of Rise as SSG tries to get away. Arsenal avoids Vatira. Reddles to follow, and it's deflected by Rise.
Well, and that's what makes Moist Esports so dangerous, Stacks, is the fact that you never know if it's a pass or a shot coming right out of the gates. As Daniel looking for a bump, can't quite find it. Arsenal gonna go up off the crossbar. That one denied. And Moist Esports looking to run the field yet again. Daniel gets full boost, puts it right underneath the opponent, and still Moist Esports continue the pressure.
Rise just off the mark, no follow-up from Joyo. He's way back. Try and keep this ball in the zone and available for his Moist teammates. And it's Rise now for Vatira down in front and sent out safely to the side by Reddles. but still not across that center line. It's been just kind of the unbreachable barrier as Vatira will take this from the backboard, and here comes Moist right back into SSG territory.
Those corners are just so open for Moist Esports. They continue to run their offense out of them, and Spacestation has yet to make them pay as Daniel might have got a piece of Joyo there on that back line as Vatira puts back towards mid. Here comes Arsenal looking to slow it. No boost left. He just turns that ball over, and Moist Esports again continuing this pressure. Spacestation is just living in this orange half, and they need to get some offense going soon.
A couple hundred more fans here this week than last when SSG and others played their way through the wild card. They're just waiting for a reason to get loud. Arsenal may be able to give them one. Got around one, and Vatira's right there. Now Daniel has the C parts in front of him, but also reveals Vatira in his face. It's Rise now. That's deflected out to the corner, and Moist have done, I think, an excellent job, Subi, of kind of trying to take the partisan crowd out of this and slow this game down to their liking and keep SSG from getting any momentum.
Absolutely, they're forcing SSG to play their game style as here comes Rise.
Oh
gets
my
the
goodness!
Flip, and somehow Daniel gets a touch on that ball as Joyo and Vatira try to link up as well, but still, Spacestation Gaming, while they're on defense an awful lot this game, they're doing a heck of a job at it.
A lesser team might have been scored on 2 or 3 times, but SSG has at least held the line, having to keep their head on a swivel all over the field. Reynolds now gonna call his own number, and Vatira there to stop him. Arsenal get the touch off the wheels, drop it in, and SSG's in front again.
And look at the composure across Arsenal's face right now. We're so used to seeing him get hype after those goals, but he realizes this is a marathon. It's not time to sprint. Keeping it cool, calm, collected.
That crowd has come alive now. The 4th man of this SSG side, at least in this head-to-head matchup with Europe. Reynolds now trying to pop one out. Arsenal's not there. Instead, the defensive Moist was. Daniel waiting patiently for his opportunity to get another clutch goal. Try and put this one out of reach as early as he can. Arsenal to the corner. That pops up, so Daniel can't really dive in, and Vatira's got it. Rise was an option, but the Steve Park's there as Arsenal comes in, picks their pocket clean, and SSG leads by 2.
Just pulls out the binoculars, sees a wide open hole, shoots, aims, and fires that one on target. Arsenal cannot miss here in game number 2.
Well, that certainly came from out of nowhere and it woke everybody up. Arsenal demolished there, though. Here's Rise trying to get that one right back. Vatira will have it fall to him patiently, and he could not get in front to get in Arsenal's way. So Moist has to regroup now with Reynolds trying to bring this from the backboard. Reynolds, he got a piece of Vatira. Ball still available until Daniel has something to say about it. And Vatira's shot is wide and away again. SSG have weathered the storm.
Oh, nice.
As we get down to the final 35 seconds. Rise bringing it all the way across. There's no panic yet on the side of Moist Subi, but you gotta imagine they gotta send the house sooner rather than later as that one's deflected away again.
No reason to panic when you have Rise on your side, but still chasing 2 goals. They need to make this one count. They have to score on this push down. As Vatira goes up, this ball gonna go straight down, but cleared back out towards midfield. And surely Spacestation Gaming gonna take game number 2.
Barring a goal here to give themselves a little bit of hope at the end of game 2. That touch from Daniel will secure it. And we've got a series on our hands here in our last match of the day.
You can hear the crowd stacks. So many fans here for Spacestation Gaming. And this just feels like an old tried and true rivalry that we're so used to in Rocket League. It's been NRG BDS, it's been Vitality Cloud9. You name it, we've had such good EU versus NA vibes, and this one, no different.
And it's by far the best thing about having LANs back. This whole season has been a celebration of our return to international competition and having those overseas rivalries This one has been better than many others that we've seen in the now 6-year history of the RLCS.
Well, and it just takes all of the what ifs out of the equations. Well, what if BDS could have played NRG? What if this? It doesn't matter. We're here on the same stage under one banner. We're all here for Rocket League in Game 3, getting ready to go. Stacks, this one is so crucial. This could totally turn the tides in this series.
The coaching constant from that man right there, Chrome, who has been awesome at the helm of SSG ever since they signed him. They found a diamond in the rough, and he has prospered. His teams have prospered. Can he lead them to a World Championship? That remains to be seen over the next several days, but the first step is right here.
Oh, I think Arsenal was looking for a ground pinch there, and Joyo's looking for a demo, and Reynolds comes to Daniel's assistance there as Rise looking to start off game number 3, just how they started game number 2, with immediate pressure right out of the gates, and Spacestation Gaming having none of that, pushing this one right back to the blue half.
Daniel up high for Arsenal, Joyo in the way. Great sense of urgency there from Moist. This goes to Arsenal, waterfall down, and he's ready for it. Joyo, just incredible defensively. I mean, we could talk about the offensive numbers all we want for a lot of these players. Rise had a historic winter major, and he's got the scoring started here in game 3.
Joyo held the brakes for just a split second to let Reddles fly right by him, and then stepped on the accelerator, got up to speed, took him off the pitch, and it was wide open for Rise. Great creativity there from Moist.
Joyo has been the guy so far in this series. He had all 3 goals, the hat trick in game 1. This goes right to Daniel, open. Caught the defense, napping.
Oh, no way!
Off the post and away by Rise. Great read under pressure. We've seen a lot of players struggle with that in this event, even Daniel a couple days ago. But it's not there to fool Moist at all. A shot here sent away by Daniel, and Vatira is there to hang with this at midfield. Rise, soft shot deflected out to the corner.
Yeah, that wasn't necessarily a shot. That's just a touch to slow the offense down from Space Station. And look, boxed them right back in their own half as Vatira looking to follow through. Can't quite find the shot as Daniel gets another touch. Great pass over to Arsenal, and Reddles going to have a little space to work with.
Roll the ball at the net and hope something good happens. It did not that time for Moist, and now Daniel dispossessed by Vatira. Reynolds looking over towards Arsenal, and Rise saw that play develop in slow motion, and it almost yielded a goal for Moist Esports.
And Reynolds faking the shot there, pushing Moist back just enough to slow down the pressure as the shot goes on, and I thought Reynolds was going to try and get a touch on that one as Daniel didn't know if he should go forward, was last man back. The shot a little too slow on target, and as we near halftime, Stacks, still Moist have a 1-goal lead.
About to be 2 goals. This one hand-delivered to Joyo. And a 2-0 lead for Moist, as Reynolds would definitely want that one back.
Oh, Daniel went for the side boost. And I believe it was Vatira that stole it away. Might have been Rise, but either way, nothing left for Daniel. He was left alone on an island, couldn't get back to the net. And Moist Esports have a 2-goal lead.
They always just find a way to not just jump in front, but increase their lead. Few teams hold leads better than Moist. We talked about it just very briefly earlier on. It just feels like they get a lead and they get a stranglehold on a series. At least the SSG faithful have something to cheer about in this game. Looking for more. Reddles got Rise. This time he'll stay dead for a little while, but now it's Daniel who has to bring it all the way back.
Smart play there.
Yeah, again, not pressing the issue too much, not panicking, still with 2 minutes left. But then neither is Moist. I mean, they understand the pace that SSG wants to play at, and they manage to slow the game down. They don't come into the zone until they are good and ready, as this is set across dangerously by SSG. They just don't seem to have a way to break past this Moist defense.
Yeah, and you see Reddles there. Only one save on target. Daniel with 2 shots. Reddles gets the demo, but it's the man and back all the way on the goal line, and still midfield pressure so good from Moist Esports, not allowing Space Station to even get any semblance of offense going here as Daniel, a little bit of space, but denied by Joyo.
All the way across, there's Daniel. Has Arsenal downfield, but also has Rise in the way. All of these long passes have been cut out by Moist. It just seems every single time. It really does feel like they have downloaded Space Station Gaming. Arsenal blocked here as it goes out to the wing. Daniel at least get a look, but he's got nothing in the tank. I think Joyo realizes that and has all day to play this away. So does Vatira, even though Arsenal was diving in, didn't have an angle. And Moist, again, the chokehold remains. SSG have not had a good look at the blue net.
Not one time here in game number 3. They have just been launching the ball on target and crossing their fingers that it'll go in. But every single time, Moist wags a finger right back in their face as the defense has been impenetrable from Moist Esports. And no, denied again from Vatira. Comes from the weak side, all the way from behind. And it looks like Moist Esports gonna repay the favor of that shutout and take game number 3.
It's only 2 goals, but that is as dominant a performance as we've seen today. Moist just shut down Space Station. 2 wins down, 2 to go along the upper bracket.
And these teams doing the do-si-do here in Fort Worth, Texas, going back and forth. Space Station Gaming, it is now their turn to try and figure out how to break through the Moist Esports midfield line, because right now, Stacks, they are just boxed in their own half. They can't get boost. They're constantly playing with 0. And when you have Reddles with 0 shots on your team, you're not going to win many games. He has got to be the guy who starts your offense and getting involved.
While Space Station has outshot Moist Esports over the last couple of games, it sure has not felt like it. Moist Esports have shut down and completely locked down SSG as we look back at the Mobile One high performance replay. And the only high performance came from this team. The team you're about to see add their 2nd goal. Joyo made it 2-0. That's the final score in game 3. And now Space Station back to the drawing board. They've just traded jabs back and forth. Odd games so far have belonged to Moist Esports. That does not serve SSG well. They've got to find a way to get 2 in a row. That would be a good time to start as we go to Utopia for game 4.
Well, and if you notice, they did not take a timeout, feeling confident going into game 4 here, Stacks. And for them, they've just got to figure out this Moist Esports offense. It just immediately starts here with a fury of shots in game number 4.
Rise with Joyo waiting for a pass. Daniel got this. It's on target, but Vatira had it lined up all the way. The young kid just manages to amaze about every other time he's on the ball.
I mean,
so too does Vatira. He has shut him down at almost every turn.
You just almost have to pick up your jaw off the floor every time Daniel is flying through the air as Arsenal trying to get a look. Here comes Daniel. He's playing the 3rd man there as gets the one over the 2nd defender there, and Arsenal going to go ahead and put a shot on target. A little too close on that one, but you like to see this if you're a Space Station fan. Not only are they getting demos, they're keeping the pressure, and the shot on target. Arsenal gets his 3rd of the series.
Arsenal coming in ever the opportunist after the demolition on Rise. He couldn't get back, and Vatira couldn't circle around quick enough. So Arsenal, as you mentioned, 3rd goal, a 2nd assist to Reddles as well. Space Station Gaming have a rare lead in this series. Can they hold on? Can they expand it? We're trying to do here on this trip, but Joyo right there to just stuff that ball right back in Arsenal's face. And Rise waiting across the way on the weak side. Won't ever get there as Daniel comes in aggressively.
Oh, very aggressive. Gets the demo, was looking for a 2nd there on Rise. Couldn't quite find it, and here comes Reddle. Off of the ceiling, an awkward touch there from Arsenal. No one expecting it from Moist Esports, and dangerous ball there, but great vision from Joyo to see no one from Space Station there, just pokes the ball downfield and gets Vatira going.
with all of these demolitions, we're almost getting a mini crew battle at times. Both teams having to play 2v2 a couple of times in this series for a few seconds at a time. Arsenal has that drop right down to Daniel. Joyo will not let it leave the zone. May not have a choice in a moment here. Daniel got to get up for that and just did ahead of Joyo. And Akira threatening as well, Subi. And again, you wonder, can SSG really keep Moist off the scoreboard for an entire game again? Was game 2 a fluke, or can they pitch another shutout? We've had, back-to-back shutouts between these two teams.
It might be an anomaly, but I mean, for Spacestation, like you said, they have the lead. So honestly, they can sit back and relax. While I don't recommend doing that against Moist Esports, it makes it a lot easier to start your offense. You're not worried about pressing forward so hard, and you don't have to feel as though you have to be so aggressive. So for Spacestation, look at how comfortable they are. Daniel playing third man all the way back on his own half, and just gives it up as I'm saying that.
Maybe
Joyo,
a little too comfortable.
Capitalizing on the mistake there from Daniel off the back wall.
That's just a great win by Joyo. What a read against Reddles. Daniel never had a chance to react. Just after the halfway mark, we're all knotted up again.
Oh my goodness.
That read by Joyo, he's just unstoppable.
If you put any of these guys on LAN, the entire Moist Esports team is just so scary. They blossom under the bright lights.
It's not just plot armor. This team does feel so often to actually just be invincible. Arsenal, danger at giving this ball away, had to stay with it with Rise right there. And now Daniel, this time at least, got around Joyo, but there is Vatira, just great team defense from Moist on the initial surge into the zone.
Oh boy.
There's a good bump, and Rise could not convert. By the slimmest of margins, SSG keep them out. But for how much longer? Arsenal could not connect here with Daniel maybe waiting for a redirect.
Oh, it's open.
Now he's going to take it himself. Can't get the ball down as Joyo recovers to send it away.
Great recognition there from Joyo, realizing the backline was open. Big flick towards mid, but Rise denied by Daniel. And Moist Esports looking to score. 80 seconds remain here in game number 4, and they continue to press forward.
Any mistake or any huge win, like the one we saw earlier from Joyo, just magnified at this stage as Daniel has to sky one out of harm's way and stays with the play to kind of finish the job. But now we're down to the final minute.
Oh, it's
Rise
open.
after the demo by Joyo. Vatira scores! It's his first goal of the series, and it may put Moist on match point.
It couldn't have come at a more opportune time. The demo deletes the back defender. Daniel can't quite get there in time. And Moist Esports take the lead. 55 to go here, Sax.
They've been so close, sending the guy downfield, looking for a demo in front of the net, time and time again. This time, they get home. And now it's Moist's turn to defend under duress. Not a lot of it, though, as Rise forces them out of the zone, and Arsenal had to come up quickly. Daniel now going to try and stay with it. He could not. Arsenal trying to set up Reddles. It's not there. Final 30 seconds, and Moist threatening to put this one away.
And right at midfield, perfect pass for Daniel, but he slows it down and can't find it underneath the crossbar. Reddles pushing forward into the corner here as Daniel, just narrowly misses, too far inside, and they've got less than 10 to go.
Gotta have it right here. Rise in the way as he shuts down Reddles. No time on the clock. SSG have to play it anywhere they can to try and keep it in the air, and they cannot. Moist are on match point as they once again try to dismiss Spacestation Gaming.
This team just continues to be denied in live environments. This team seems unstoppable, and Spacestation Gaming looking for kryptonite here. They're gonna have to take a timeout to try and figure out how they can take 2 games off of Moist Esports.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't take the timeout, but also, I don't know that a timeout's going to help. I'll just go ahead and say it. This team cannot beat that team. It's that simple. There is something about Moist that they have Spacestation's number. As we look back again at the Mobile One high performance replay, and Vatira delivering the dagger in game 4. and maybe the dagger for the series.
I mean, this team is not only able to be beat by Spacestation, but they haven't finished outside of a top 4 since November of 2021. This team has been on a roll, and it has been so fun to watch. And it doesn't look like they're slowing down, Stacks. It looks like they just somehow continue to get better. They've always been so, I mean, just non-linear with their gameplay, and it doesn't seem to stop.
Saw a shot of Reynolds there, and I think it was a really good look at a man who has got to be incredibly frustrated every time he runs up against his team, and he wants them every chance he gets to prove that they can finally beat them. Maybe they had saved their best for last and they finally get over the hump at the World Championship, but they find themselves staring up a tall, tall mountain, down 3-1 to Moist Esports, and the clouds are rolling in. That is adorable. That's why we love having these lands back.
It is absolutely incredible that, I mean, from ages 9 months to 99 years old, doesn't matter. You can enjoy Rocket League wherever you are, and it is just such a sight to see.
You didn't have to date yourself like that, Subi.
Well, you know, sometimes I have to let you know that I've got a little experience over you.
A lot. We go to Wasteland now for Game 5. The post-apocalyptic background coming on your screen very shortly, and it could be the end of the line in this series for Spacestation Gaming in yet another attempt to try and take down Moist Esports.
I mean, if that isn't an omen, I don't know what is, Stacks. That is a scary sight to behold if you're Spacestation Gaming. But mental fortitude is what we're about to see, and can Spacestation Gaming last this onslaught of Moist Esports?
Teams after timeout generally come out with that second wind. Does SSG have a strong start in them? They're going to need it, because if Moist scores this first goal, he might be able to wrap it up. Here goes Daniel. Given plenty of time and plenty of space. Usually a death sentence for a team, but not for this team, as Moist slow him down. Reynolds will have one deflected up, and Batira given a lot of space of his own.
Arsenal, so much respect given to Moist Esports, sitting in midfield. And Daniel puts that one under the crossbar. Nobody home for Moist Esports.
You know the rule. Hand down, man down. Rise didn't get up in time. Nobody was there. And Spacestation Gaming, they have a lead early in a game again. They scored first, I believe, in 3 out of these 5 games. They've had opportunities, but they just have not been able to put away Moist other than that one shutout in Game 2.
Yeah, and again, you know, we could talk about how easy technically it could be to hold on to a lead, but not when you're facing Moist, not when you have the mechanical power of all 3 players on Moist. But not only that, I mean, yeah, they're teammates, but they're all friends. And that, oh, what a save, and oh, Reynolds comes in, flying from midfield, and puts this one in to give Spacestation a 2-0 lead.
A fortuitous bounce here off of Joyo. It was on its way out to the corner, and unfortunately, Joyo in the wrong spot. Spacestation Gaming get a break and a 2-goal lead in a game they must win to stay in the upper bracket. Trying to get a shot at Semper in the upper bracket. Loser drops down, has to deal with endpoint. There's Joyo here dispossessed. Arsenal coming in, and there's nobody to demo, so he's got to turn tail and run. Joyo trying to run interference in the Spacestation net, and Daniel has evaded him.
And boy, so comfortable playing laterally there, just going left to right, right to left, trying to wear down Spacestation, force them to use every ounce of boost they have, because at the moment, Moist have absolutely been winning the boost battles, constantly stealing, constantly so thirsty for every ounce of boost, living up to their Moist Esports name as Rise goes up over double committed defender and double tap, no, denied on the back line. Moist still chasing their first goal.
They've given Batira so much time to just wind up and fire, and he's burned him once, almost did it again. He cannot let Moist have all that time and space, but it's at least working right now. They have those 2 goals spotted a double goal lead, and now Vatira pop one away, only as far as Daniel. Joyo taken out twice, once by Arsenal, once by Reynolds, double kill, and SSG is up 3.
Oh, I love this play from SSG. Reynolds playing so aggressive, Daniel slowing it down, and then the unselfish play says, here you go, Reynolds, you did all the work, take the goal. Spacestation up 3.
This is by far the best that Spacestation has looked in this series, and their fans may be starting to believe. Joyo, though, coming through, and there is Daniel for the stop, and he kills it there along the ground, not letting Vatira just have it roll out to him. He had to come chase it down. Now Arsenal looking for a 4th goal, and that one's sent away.
What a save from Joyo. I don't know how he read that ball, but here comes a breakaway play from Moist Esports. 1-2 denied by Spacestation, but they continue to stay in this orange half, and no pressure on that ball. Rise comes from opposite side to keep things alive, and awkward play here from Spacestation. Seems like the boost is starting to become a problem for him, Stacks.
Yeah, they're getting a little comfortable on their half of the field as well. And when that happened last game, it spelled disaster, though this time it's popped away just ahead of Joyo. Reynolds up to Arsenal, maybe looking to put this one away once and for all, and he bounced it through and not in. What a save again, as the Moist defense gives themselves a shot with 90 seconds left.
Oh, that ball was flashing, Stacks. It was crossing the goal line. And still, Moist refused to give up, chasing 3. They're gonna need one here. They have to send the house. Rise puts it up, it's gonna roll back down, but no follow-up shot is there. Too slow on that one. And Spacestation sends it back downfield, and Arsenal, can't roll it in. He's hit left, he's hit right, he's hit up above, but still can't find a goal here in game number 5.
Well, that's why you spot yourself a 3-goal lead, so you don't have to score in the final minute. Daniel got around, and there's Rise. It looked good, resulted in nothing, and Arsenal just kept that away as Joyo tried to sneak one into an almost empty net. 40 seconds remain as SSG fights for survival in the upper bracket. Vatira's gonna sky one up, and nothing there off the flip reset. They just haven't had it in this game. Moist has a few in the bag, but they're gonna let one get away here. One of those closeout opportunities. And a little bit of breath now for Spacestation Gaming as Daniel gets his 3rd of the series.
Second one here in game number 5. Rise a little too slow to that one, but I don't quite fault him. This one was out of hand. And Spacestation Gaming clawing back to life, refusing to be turned away, refusing to give up. And Stacks, we're only 2 games away from game 7, my friend.
Why not? They've gone there, they've gone the distance. Just about every time they've faced each other. Just seems like it's written in the script. Maybe another trip to the Heartbreak Hotel, but for now, Spacestation Gaming gotta be breathing a big sigh of relief. They've staved off relegation down below, and they stay alive here on the main stage.
Yeah, I mean, big sigh of relief, but you also have to face the facts that if you're gonna take this one against Moist, you gotta bring them to game 7, and you have to beat them in game 7. And Spacestation Gaming, historically, 0-4 in game 7s at LAN. They just do not have the ice, and when you turn the script to the other side, Moist Esports has all of it.
Yeah, I remember somebody famously saying last week that SSG doesn't have the ice. Pass from the past. And they turned out to have it in the end. It's a bit of a different beast over on the other side of the field this time around. But at least they have life going into Neo Tokyo. You gotta imagine it's gotta be so tough for that young man right there to kind of tune all of this out. Those headphones do a lot of work. They are not unflappable. You can still hear just something. You know that the crowd is going nuts one way or the other. You can hear them right now behind us. Game 6 about to get underway. Is this the end of the line? Game 6, Neo Tokyo, brought to you by Bob's Ramen. Here we go. Spacestation and Moist with Champions Field looming in the distance.
Oh, big kickoff here for Spacestation. Arsenal looking for a big challenge, and Reynolds cut off Daniel. I thought maybe he had a better angle, but maybe the boost was an issue for him. I'm not quite sure on that one, but still, Spacestation maintaining the pressure here, not allowing an immediate shot opportunity, but Moist Esports, man, oh man, can they make offense seemingly out of nothing.
Not the greatest touch out of Arsenal, but Reynolds did just enough to shut down the angle. Now Joyo, maybe a little too strong intended for Vatira. Do all they can to keep this in the zone, but Reynolds made sure to grab that corner boost, and that's critical as they try to get out of the zone. Otherwise, Moist threatening to really starve them out. Now Joyo up top for Rise, can't get the double down on target. And a break for SSG. They take out Rise and Vatira. Only Joyo for the moment. They're both back and ready to go.
And that was the big difference maker in game number 5, as that one almost sent in. Huge double tap and just narrowly missed its mark off of the post. But for Spacestation to be successful, I genuinely feel like they have to rely on those demos. They have to try and play a man advantage. They've got to play 3v2 here against Moist.
Who blinks first in the second closeout opportunity for Moist against SSG? Daniel right at Vatira. That matchup has been great to watch all day long. Those two right at each other every single time, it feels like. Just Daniel again, whirling through on target and shut down by Joyo. Follow-up is swatted away by Vatira.
I love that from Reynolds, just sitting there poaching, knowing that that player is going to come directly towards him, but unfortunately from him, someone waiting directly center of net as these teams continue to battle back and forth. And this seems very reminiscent of game number 2 when we were scoreless for nearly 3.5 minutes. Both teams realizing how important this game is. Obviously, Moist Esports, if they get that dub, gonna go ahead and march forward.
Daniel gonna kill this here. Vatira was hoping Daniel would bring it over to the side to him. Not the case. Rise jumping ahead though. Only Daniel to beat. Rise's shot is blocked away. Daniel able to hold his ground for now. Joyo again trying to snipe the corner. Sailed on him. And the boost steal out of Moist. Trying to starve out Spacestation Gaming, but the drought won't last very long.
And Spacestation has got to be careful. They've double committed a few times here, and it's only a matter of time before Moist Esports capitalizes on those mistakes on the back half as Arsenal sees Reynolds. Reynolds denied as Vatira goes up, and Daniel tried to go low, but perfect read from Vatira, no one home, and the shot in for Vatira. Moist Esports take the lead.
Almost like they lulled him into a false sense of security. It's a tough angle, and Vatira reads it perfectly. Arsenal couldn't get a hand up in time, and with 2 minutes left, Moist are closing in on closing out SSG.
Under 20 seconds to get one goal, tie this all up, Stacks. And for Moist Esports, time to just hang on, keep that pressure going, and keep Spacestation at bay.
Spacestation has not won a game in this series where they've conceded a goal. Their 2 wins, a 2-0 and 4-0 shutout. Rise, I think he got a bump on Arsenal from behind that made him get rid of that ball a little sooner than he would have liked as Reynolds tries to fake them out. And Arsenal coming in, the door slammed right in his face. Out to the corner now. That demolition on Reynolds could put SSG into a world of hurt, but Arsenal sure-handed at the back. He's got Reynolds running downfield, and it's just not there for the pass. Daniel gotta pop one up at midfield and try and slow down Moist. Many teams have tried, many teams have failed. Here goes Daniel. Arsenal running along the back line, nobody there. Now it's Reynolds trying to walk it home, and Rise avoids contact, gets the stop. Now Arsenal to the corner, and Vatira's waiting patiently, and Europe's most valuable player. Not quite unanimously, but pretty darn close. They have just put this series away.
My goodness, back door is wide open, and you just let that ball in scot-free. Oh, Mama Vatira is an absolute hero here in game number 6.
And the chirping going on now with Moist closing in on final victory. But now Reynolds across the way. He's got Arsenal up there. Daniel waiting underneath.
Oh, he missed it.
And this is going to force Reynolds back. That's bad news for Spacestation Gaming, needing 2 goals now with minimal time on the clock. The demo on Rise opens the window just a little bit, and Daniel scores to give SSG life again.
Oh, he does it again, pirouetting through the air, floating, filled with helium, and goes far post and in, bringing Spacestation within 1.
Vatira stopped him every single time in this series except right there, when it mattered most, when Daniel had to have it. Will it matter is the real question. Joyo, let it get away. Vatira gonna try to keep control, make SSG chase him. Reddles has, but that goes right to Rise. Final countdown now, and Rise puts it away! Once and for all, Moist on top!
How many times is he gonna get a goal with less than 10 seconds to go in the game? Rise continues to show he's got that ice in his veins, baby!
Spacestation had won their last 6 games on Neo Tokyo. That streak ends when this ball touches the ground as Moist Esports once again have SSG's number, and now they've got a date with Semper in the upper bracket.
And these 2 teams just continue to battle. Out of 21 possible game stacks, they've played 20 of them. You've got to tip your hat to Spacestation, but you've got to throw your hat on the floor for Moist Esports. These guys continue to impress, and I don't know how they never fold under the pressure.
It is probably the unlikeliest story, I think, of this whole season, this team that came from seemingly out of nowhere in the winter. Let's face it, in hostile territory at the YouTube Theater in LA, the whole crowd against him, it felt like, and they took on all comers. They were indeed North America's worst nightmare, and they remain so to this day, several months later. This is, for me, undoubtedly, the best team in the world as we look back one more time at the Mobile One high performance replay, and that man jacked up the entire series and chirping a little bit at the end as well. But Tira wanted this in a big way, and his defense was critical towards Moist taking down SSG again.
It was the defense, it was the aggression, it was the creativity, it was the refusal to be denied. I mean, you could just have so many bullet points of what makes this team great, but one thing is for certain. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are, who you are, it is almost impossible to root against this team. You love to see them succeed because it is just such a true story of esports, of like going to an event, wanting to be there one day, and now being some of the best players in the world.
It's truly an inspirational story. It's taken Rocket League by storm from the start of this season. And now we once again get to hear from victorious Moist. Orbs on stage with them.
Thank you so much, guys. All right, please, crowd, give it up here for Rise Moist Esports, winners